Hi guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 14 children. 12 of those children are still at home. And today tomorrow, I promised to have a video up about like medical prep and that type of stuff. So a couple things have happened. One was my card, like my card that I put inside my camera. One of my cards is missing, which means half of my footage as far as my medical supplies is missing in action. But we have a hurricane coming, and I don't know if we're supposed to get like a direct hit from this Hurricane Lee that's coming. And I don't know, we'll probably end up losing power. We lose power anyway, quite a bit. So I wanted to get something uploaded for you. So I'm going to try to like separate this into two videos. So this video is going to be not about medical side of things. It is medical, but it's more like medicinal medical. So I'm going to go over the things that like my herbs and that type of stuff. So my herbs, I do many things with. And if you want me to get into detail about different like blends and stuff that I do in different herbs and what I use for those, I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments below. So this is one of my favorite books. It is Prescription for Nutritional Healing. And it is kind of a combination of a bunch of different things. Some of it is old wives' tales. There is a huge section here that is just on herbs. So it would go by the herb name alphabetically. This is really awkward. I'm videoing this on my laptop. So it has the herb name alphabetically here. So for instance, this is feverfew up here. And then it says the contents of the nutrients and then what it's used for. So this says, I'm just going to give you this. It says combats inflammation and muscle spasms, increases fluidity of lung and bronchial tube mucus, promotes and stimulates appetite, and stimulates uterine contractions, relieves nausea, vomiting, good for arthritis, colitis, fever, headaches, mild, transient migraines, menstrual problems, muscle tension, and pain. So that is the basis of things. And then in the comment section of it, it says, chewing the leaves is a folk remedy, but this may also cause mouth sores, also called feverfew. So it's saying like basically you don't want to chew it. And then it says caution. And there is always a caution when it comes to anything related to pregnancy. So it says caution, do not use when pregnant or nursing. People who are taking prescription blood thinning medications or regularly take over-the-counter painkillers should talk to your healthcare provider ahead of time. Now, they don't say that underneath each of them. They just give you whatever precautions that it might not interact well with. So I really like this. So the front section here has all the different herbs, and they're all alphabetical. So you can look up things like under the alphabetical name to see what it might do. Now, you move on to the next section, I believe, goes into vitamins. I'm just looking real quick. And it's not. So I think maybe the section before. Okay. So the section before goes over vitamins. Oh my goodness. This book is so well loved. Look at that. It goes over vitamins. It goes over minerals. It goes over your air. It goes over water. It goes over amino acids. So it goes over all of those types of things, antioxidants, what your antioxidants are, and just different things. So those are good to like read totally through so you can get an overview. And then we have, if the rest of the book is when you would look up something. So say you have, I don't know, diabetes is a big one, so I'll just look up that. So let's see. Oh, that's dermatitis. So diabetes. So it has a section. This is all alphabetical, which is super awesome. And then it has this section here, diabetes, and then it tells you about it. Now, each section is a different amount. So it talks about the two types of diabetes here. And then it tells you nutrients that you may want to take if you have diabetes there. And then it talks about very important things that you really should be taking there at the bottom, the very important ones. And the other page is going to continue the important ones, and then it's going to give you important and then helpful. So the very important obviously would be key that you want to take. Then you could try, and then so on and so forth till you get to the helpful. And then after that, it gives a specific section on herbs and different herbs you might take and ways that you might take that. And then after that, it gives you recommendations. So sometimes the recommendations might give you like old wives' tales that people have thought about or done. It also some of the areas have considerations, things that you need to consider if you're going through that. So yeah, it's just a whole roundabout type thing, and you're not going to agree with any one thing in the book, but there's so much information in there. And what I like about it is it's alphabetical, and I can just like go to something, turn to a whatever some is happening to somebody. Say it's like eczema or whatever. Like you would just look up eczema and it would tell you, instead of being like, I have to try to figure out what's going on. Or you might look up dry skin because you don't know that it's eczema. You might look up dry skin and then it would give you, it could be this, this, and this. And then it will give you like a scenario as far as like what these different things look like or how they act or whatever. And then different things that you can try. So I really think that is a good all-around book reference guide to start with. I got mine at a thrift store on accident years ago. It was just like in this pile of books for $1, and then my whole thing like ripped off, and it was like in 3 sections because it's just a soft cover for so many pages. And we use it a lot. So yeah, that is my number 1 book. Now, different ways you can use herbs. I'm going to show you my herbs in just a minute, and then I'm going to share with you, let's see, elderberry syrup, fire cider, and a homemade electrolyte solution at the end of this video. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about things. I was thinking about putting some, like a huge amount of information in here, but I think that it would be better if I did like my salves as a separate video, and then just do a couple of salves along with you guys, so you guys can get some basic salves that I do make. So different things that you could use herbs for would be to do tinctures. So basically a tincture is herbs that has been soaked in either alcohol or glycerin for a certain period of time, and it takes out the medicinal properties of the herb. So that's one way. You could have just a cup of tea, and that's one way that you could take an herb. There's certain herbs that you could smoke. For instance, traditionally people would smoke mullein to clear the lungs. We choose not to smoke mullein, but I'll put it in the vaporizer and vaporize it like that. Let's see. And then there's different things like just having a cup of tea, doing different blends, different herbs work with different herbs. So blending the herbs together and having a cup of tea. You can also make a salve for topical things, which is basically your herb that has been soaked in a type of oil. And then you've added like usually beeswax to that to make it in a form that you'd be able to use it like a lotion. So we'll do more of that, I think, in a separate video where I can go over some basic salves that we do. I have a drawing salve that helps get splinters out. I have another salve, we call it boo-boo salve, that is just helps heal wounds faster. And antibiotic, it has antibacterial and microbial properties in it, so that it's almost like we use it like we'd use Neosporin. So there's different salves that I'd like to go over with you. Diaper rash cream, a basic diaper rash cream salve, or like skin irritation that would be safe down there type salve using calendula. So there's so many different things that you can use like that. So what did I say? I said tinctures, teas, salves. You can use it in a vaporizer. You can smoke them. So those are just different ways that you could use herbs. So I'm going to show you my herbs, and then we'll get to those recipes.
Okay, so we're in my hallway here, and I have a bunch of books or whatever on the top here, and then down here I have a bunch of herbs, which I'm going to show you. This is where I keep my herbs. I wanted to use this space wisely, so this is a 6-inch board, and I built like its shelf, and we just built it to the space that we had. See? Like that. So it goes all the way up. I wanted to make use of this space here because we live in a smaller house. So here's my herbs. So we have anything that I use for herbs. These are store-bought ones there. Those are blends. I have like a turmeric blend here that I really enjoy, and just some other ones there. Then I have plain red rose tea, lavender, oat straw, burdock, and those are rose hips on the end. And then we drink a lot of red raspberry leaf tea, and I grow my own red raspberry leaf, but I was actually selling some blends for a while roadside to some people, and it was heavy in red raspberry leaf, and it didn't do all of our red raspberry leaf needs. So I ended up buying some. So this is left over from that. I'm no longer selling those things, but that's what's left over from that. So basically I have all of my things in here. So like lady's mantle, shepherd's purse, and blue cohosh would get put together for you to like expel your placenta. So I have that. There's just a bunch of different things in here that I know would be good for different things. Buy what you know that you're going to use and that you're using currently. Just red clover is really good as like a blood cleanser. Comfrey leaf is something that I would use in my salves. I'd soak that in oil, and comfrey also has the name of bone heal, and so that would be great for that. We have arnica here. I use that for like arthritis pain, also in a salve. So some of these are for like oral, having a like a glass of tea or a tincture or something like that. So there's teas, tinctures, and salves that I would use for all of these. And these are things that I use less of or less frequently of. Let's see, these come from our house. Calendula, nettle, alfalfa does not. This is, I think it's called like mountain, I don't know, they come on the trees near us. I forget the name of it right now. I make a blend for pregnancy tea, hibiscus flowers, chamomile, peppermint, echinacea, elderberries, woman's, red raspberry, and a sleepy time tea that I blended up. So the ones here on the bottom are ones that I use a lot. I've either already mixed them up, or they're just my most common that I use a lot of. But I have a couple of these ones too. These are red clovers. So I would mix red clover, because it really doesn't taste like too much, in with other things to help like it just helps like clarify your blood, and it's not as strong as like dandelions. So these ones that you don't see on the front would be on the top. So that's like licorice root. This is a valerian root. This is orange peel. I can just tell by the look of it. So orange peel, most likely I would be using that in just different recipes and such. So yeah, that's the herbs. So in this container here, I have 1 onion, organic, chopped up. I put a whole head of garlic in here. I'm not doing hot peppers because other people might be. I'm not quite sure who will be using this or not, and a lot of people, the hot peppers are just too much for them. So then I have a nub of ginger root, a nub of turmeric, and then half a cup of grated horseradish. And then I'm going to add a splash of lemon juice. And then I'm going to add, this is our own, I don't know how you can see that. This is our own apple cider vinegar that I made last year. You can see how much like beauty is in that. Look how much it developed in there, how much mothers and everything in there. So I am going to add this. I'm just going to hold my fingers here so I don't get a big hunk of mother in there. I'm going to cover this completely over. Oop, don't go out. Cover this completely over. There we go. So that is everything in here. I'm just going to mix this up. And then I'm going to put a, I'm going to put a cover on top of this, and I am going to let this like stew for about 4 weeks. And then what I'll do is I'll take and strain this out, and I will add about a cup of honey into here. So this would be for the fire cider. Sorry, my brain wasn't working there for a moment. So this would be for the fire cider. So if you want to, and if you're mainly adults that are going to be taking this, then you can add like 2 hot peppers to it, but I'm not going to add those. Okay, so for my next thing, I'm going to make some electrolytes into here. Okay, so my friend shared with me an electrolytes recipe, and I'm going to share it with you. I tweak it to my own doing, and she said that that's fine. You can tweak it all you want. So this is what I do. I start off with 3 cups of lemon juice, which we used a little bit. Oops, which we used a little bit of this last time, so this is just a little over. Then you're going to take 2 cups of sugar or sweetener. I usually actually use honey, but for this instance, I am going to use this. Then I'm going to take a little bit of water that I heated. Can you get me a spoon, please? Thank you. Yeah, a big one. I'm just going to add a little bit of hot tea water, so I just have like the tea kettle, and I do that. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And she uses minerals that she buys, which would be a great idea. At this point, I didn't buy minerals yet, so I am using vitamin C packets. I'm going to put 2 vitamin C packets in here. Okay, so now I stirred that in there, and then I'm going to add 3/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. I have this homemade stuff here. There we go. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to fill this all the way to the top, and then I'm going to dump half of that into another gallon jar and fill that all the way to the top, and this will make 2 gallons. That is the way that I do it. She says, let me read her instructions. She says that we add 3/4 cup of this to a pitcher with about 2 quarts of water. So they would take 3/4 cup of this and add it to 2 quarts of water. I take this, fill it to the top, dump it in another one, and then fill that to the top. So dump half and half and then fill them both to the top. That's what I do. They do it that way. So whatever works for you guys. You can also use the minerals. A lot of times I use honey in here and not sugar. But you could use whatever you wanted, stevia, monk fruit, whatever you use. So these are the 2 that I got finished, and we will just put lids on those and put them in the fridge, and then I serve that over ice. So we got some elderberries this morning. I got these like 2 days ago, so I'm just going to put these in my pot. And I'm going to try to get, I don't know, probably about 2 cups of elderberries here, and then what I'm going to do is take about 6 cups of water, and we will put that on the stove for about 35 minutes, and then I'll add a couple things after that. So I'm just going to take the bowl of these and put them into the pot, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we have the elderberries, and then we have the water, and then my assistant is gonna put cinnamon sticks in it. So she has 2 cinnamon sticks, put it in the pan, and we're gonna go turn it on the stove.
And what is it?
Elderberry syrup. Okay, so now I'm just gonna strain this. Okay, so now I'm just gonna strain this. Okay, so now all I'm doing is taking that liquid and I'm gonna put this back into my pan, and then I'm gonna add, it usually goes about 1/3 of what you had. So I had 6 cups in here of liquid and now it's down to 2 cups. So then I'm gonna add like 3/4 of a cup of honey. So I have this organic honey here. Let's see if you guys can see it. And it is crystallized a little bit on top here, but that will be fine because it'll all melt in together anyway. I have some local honey as well. I'm just trying to use up this honey first, and then I have a 5-gallon pail, if you guys remember, of that honey. But I had brought this honey down from the cabin and just wanted to use it up first. So I'm basically gonna put, I think that's about 3/4 cup. I'm gonna melt this in just till it melts. I don't wanna cook it because I want the properties of the honey, but just until this melts over very low heat. And then we'll see how it is after that. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of lemon juice in here. And then I'm gonna pour it back into this jar. Let's move this over for you. We're gonna pour this back in. And I'm not worried about it too much. I am going to be taking this because my lovely little cold is not deciding to go away. I don't know if it's cold or allergies. My fever has never come back, but my snuffies keep going. So what I would do is I would take, like, you know those little medicine cups? They're like this big. I think they're, what are they, like 20 or 30 milligrams, something like that. I'll show you one. My daughter found one. So we get these little, like, shot glass style like this. So you could, like, pour it in here and then take it like that, like a shot. Or you could take this amount and then like put it over some iced water and just drink it down like that. So for me, honestly, I am just gonna work on this, and I'll probably include some in some of the kids' drinks over the next few weeks, because September usually is a hard hitter for colds and flus and all that type of stuff around here. Kids are going back to school, not my kids, but kids are going back to school, and there's lots of germs surrounding around everywhere. So let's build up our immune systems.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you like videos like this, make sure you comment down below and let me know exactly what you like. If you'd like to see a sal video, make sure that you say that below, or tinctures or different herbal blends. Just let me know, because I'm not quite sure what everyone is interested in, and I'd like to be able to share what you might be interested in. So let me know below. Thanks so much. I hope you have a blessed day.